it's Maggie. Today I'm going to do an overview of Dr. Sigmund Freud's chart. So he was born May 6, 1856 in Freiburg, Marin, Czechoslovakia at that time. That's what it was called. So his sun sign is Taurus. His ascendant is Scorpio. That's an analyst. Scorpio, depth psychology. The father of depth psychology, psychiatry actually. And his moon is in Gemini. So let's get into his chart. I'm going to try to hold this up a little bit. So this is his chart. So you can see his moon in Gemini. His stellium in the 7th house in Taurus. The 7th house is personal relationships. So he has the Sun, Uranus, and Mercury, planet of change. Mercury's the planet of communication. So he innovated. Uranus is innovation, liberation, freedom. So he had the innovation to begin this new analysis that he created with his patients. Unusual. He may have started with hypnotism, I think. So I just wanted to show the 6th house of work. The 6th house of work, he has Pluto, that's depth psychiatry. Pluto's the ruler of Scorpio. It's the ruler of his ascendant. So he has it in the 6th house of work and health. So he also has Venus. I just thought that could be some of his affairs maybe he had with the beautiful women that he had laying on his couch. I don't know. But I do recall they were doing coke, cocaine and all kinds of stuff back then. So that would be Pluto and Venus in the 6th house of work. He loved his work and he wanted to make a mark in his work. Making a mark is North Node. Having the North Node in the 6th house, I believe it's in Aries though. North Node, let me just make sure. Yeah, his North Node is in Aries. So he was the first. He was a pioneer of psychiatry, and all his techniques. And so the stellium in Taurus, that's his one-to-one relationships that he had with his patients. There's so much going on in his chart. So I just went over his work house. The ruler of his ascendant is in his 6th house of work. It's in Taurus. So that's how he made his money. His moon is his chart. It's in the 8th house. So he loved research, one-on-one with clients. I don't know if he really loved it, but it is what you like. So I think he liked to research and write books, but he does have Moon and Saturn in Gemini in the there it goes in the 8th house. I can't hold this up the whole time. I'm sorry because it just kind of goes away. Anyway, it's in the 8th house of Scorpio here. 8th house of Scorpio. So Saturn is him being a psychiatrist, building structure, writing 1 million books, 25 published books or something. And the moon is chattiness, but his chattiness was not superficial. Scorpio wants absolute depth. Mars is co-ruler of Scorpio. Mars and Pluto are both co-rulers of Scorpio. So his communication had enormous depth to it. And it's squaring, Saturn is squaring Mars in Libra. So Mars in Libra, Mars is the ruler of Aries. Mars in Libra is groups of people, patience, publishing. He did have, excuse me, a falling out with Dr. Carl Jung, which is the first one I wanted to do. And I saw that Carl Jung was a Taurus, so I skipped to Freud, and Freud's a Taurus too, so it's very interesting. I may do a chart compatibility between these two. So anyway, Dr. Sigmund Freud was unique and original. Mars in the 11th house of publishing. He loved publishing about people. The people would be Libra, and it's in the 11th house of Aquarius. So his voluminous writings about his clients and his work. He loved doing that, and it's in opposition. Venus is opposed Mars. So let me just check his Venus. Yeah, he's got Venus in Aries. Venus is in its detriment in Aries. Venus is in its detriment in Aries, and Mars is in its detriment in Libra. So he may not have been the most personable shrink in the world, He may not have been his style, Now we have a lot more choices, but so his approach may have been very clinical, direct. Aries is very, very direct. It's a masculine sign, so he wasn't real touchy-feely in his work, other than maybe having affairs and stuff to cope with his patient. I don't know, I'm just kidding. But serious, I think he did, I read somewhere that. But, that's me, opposition, got him. Got him well known for that. Let's just put it that way. Moving on, he has pretty much everything in the three houses. In Aries, he has Jupiter and Aries in the 5th house, so he loved what he did. He loved pioneering. He has Neptune in it's the ruler. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces in the 4th house. So, Neptune is in Dominion. Excuse me, it's in Dominion in Pisces. So that again is the depth he would go to. It's all about the collective unconscious. I mean, he discovered that. It's pretty awesome. He discovered that. And dreams, interpreting dreams, that's one of his foremost books, is something dream interpretation. And Freudian slips and the collective unconscious and what's going on, in our unconscious that we're not aware of. That's Neptune. That's Neptune in Pisces, and Jupiter just expounded that. And with Aries, it was just like a chisel. He was like a chisel. The chisel came from Pluto. I can see why he was a hypnotist in the beginning. Pluto, and he probably loved putting people under. Pluto and Venus and the North Node, the 6th house of work. So he loved digging and mining into people's unconscious fears and hysteria. So he pioneered. His work was very, very pioneering, and he liked to work behind the scenes. But ultimately, his practice was with clients. So Uranus was unique, unpredictable. What he discovered, unique, original way of working with clients. Seventh house is clients. It's clients and making money through clients as a doctor, as a psychoanalyst. So the psychoanalyst is his sixth house of work. Seventh house is working with clients. It is unusual, original techniques that he made a mark with. He made a mark with through his North Node, his originality in his work that had staying power to this day. And so Jupiter gave him good fortune with his originality. Jupiter is opposed Mars. Jupiter in Aries is opposed Mars. Jupiter and Libra are opposed. So, yeah, that just really put him on the map. Of course, premier people traveled from. Jupiter would be travel too. It would be travel, international acclaim. People traveled from all over to see him. At the time, everything was called hysteria, and so he uncovered, unearthed a lot. So pretty much everything is in his eighth house of Scorpio, but he has Gemini there, so it's like uncovering the hidden secrets of the mind, because Scorpio loves that, and his ascendant loves that. Scorpio loves to dig deep for the mystery. They love metaphysical stuff, and so he would go depth psychology, psychiatry, and neurosis, and all of that. So Saturn gave him Saturn is square Mars. They're in the same element, his moon, but it is squaring Mars because of the degree. So he was challenged to publish, definitely to publish and make public his work. And Mars square Saturn is a very challenging aspect. So he was driven, very, very driven to work and publish and go. Very learned man, but it's in the eighth house of Scorpio. So to build structure, he built structure in psychoanalysis. He was the father of it. So Saturn is the father through his techniques that he unearthed through his Scorpionic eighth house and his Scorpio ascendant, and the ruler Pluto in the sixth house. So, very interesting chart. Yes, the stellium in Taurus. So, just going to break down his elements. He has Venus, North Node, and the MC in this. Why I didn't do it. His midheaven is Virgo. Just make sure. Leo, rather. It's Leo, 23 degrees Leo. So, yeah, he became famous. He definitely became famous. And it's in the ninth house of beliefs. And, ninth and tenth. I would look at the ninth and 10th house. He has Virgo on the 10th house here, too. So, ninth house is higher learning. He had enormous higher learning, and his beliefs were very, very structured belief system. It's that Sagittarius ninth house ruler. And so that's his fire, and having Leo on the MC, he became famous for his belief systems, which is psychoanalysis. Air, he has Mars in Libra and the Moon and Saturn in Gemini. So, they're in the same element, which makes him very. His forehead is huge. Back then, they had phrenology. They would study your forehead, like how big it is. His is enormous. Whether that still holds or not, but sometimes I will look at that. It could be a sign of intelligence to have. His forehead is just huge. So somehow that came up, phrenology. So it's just breaking down his elements. His air. He's very earthy with his stellium in Taurus. Venus is the ruler of Taurus, and Venus is in his workhouse of Virgo. And yeah, so not to be repetitive. So he's very earthy, very, very earthy. The majority of his planets are in Earth: Sun, Mercury, Uranus, and Pluto. And water is his ascendant, very deep, fixed stuff. He's got some fixed signs going on, and they can be very fixed and stubborn. So I could just see him and Dr. Carl Jung, whatever it is that they fought about, should be very, very interesting when they locked horns, because they are both Taurus, and they can both be stubborn and rigid, but I think they went their separate ways and didn't agree on something. But fixed signs can just dig in their heels, they're very, very stubborn and opinionated. So he's very, very fixed, very, 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 very fixed. 4 planets in fixed Earth, Taurus. And water, he has his ascendant Jupiter and Neptune. Jupiter and Neptune brought him fame, good luck, good fortune. Jupiter is in Aries, so he was the first, the foremost, the pioneer. Neptune is the collective unconscious that he discovered and expanded and expounded upon with his Gemini moon. So, very interesting man. I hope you enjoyed this. If you do, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.